Forest 27 is the last remaining forest in the whole of Lusaka district. There were a number of forests actually, but all of them were degazetted. And degazetting means you change the use of that particular area. So the time it was turned into a forest, it was turned into a forest because the majority of Lusaka has a bedrock underneath the soil. That means when rainfall comes down, it can't sink into the ground. Most of it will stay on the surface. That's why there's a lot of flooding. But there are certain areas that have limestone, and the water can easily get into the ground and recharge the water flow underground. And those areas are the areas where they left forests. So those forests are meant to be recharge zones. Okay? So because of the increase in population of Lusaka, they decided to change the use from forest to settlement. So forest 26, for example, was degazetted. Half of it was turned into what's now called Lusaka National Park. And we've got no problem with the National Park because we know they will preserve the area the way it's always been. Right? But the other half was turned into the Lusaka Multi-Facility Economic Zone. That means structures and concrete everywhere, so water again can't get into the ground. So that's how we lost Forest 26. But half of it is still a good story because it's still a national park. 27. This, you can see this structure here. This is the entire Forest 27, which at its peak was about 1,600 hectares. Okay? Then they start degazetting. This is Forest 27. Then they start degazetting. So the first area to go was the one in here, which is where we have the ZAF settlement. Okay? Then there is another famous settlement called Kingsland settlement. So all these portions have been degazetted and turned into settlements. The only remaining portion of Forest 27 is this one in green here. But even as we talk, there are people building and cutting trees in this area. So half of this, though not degazetted, is officially gone. So people are building mansions in this place. So what we did is we did a documentary talking about why it's important for us to maintain these spaces as forests because they're important recharge zones. When you do a documentary like that, it won't be popular because the majority of the people settled in this area were powerful people and are still powerful people. The former president had a plot in here, the former speaker had a plot in here, the former minister of lands had a plot in here. So you can't fight powerful people like that. And the majority of these plots didn't go through the official procedure for getting your plots done. Most of the documents were not properly processed. Okay? So that was 2019 when we did this. This is 2025. We have not solved the problem. In fact, this Casco portion of the forest I'm talking about, if you go on our Facebook page, I just posted pictures of people cutting down more trees. People are still cutting trees, they are still building the area. So, one key lesson I've learned from this, especially for us as conservation organizations, is that if you're going to defend nature, if you're going to defend the environment, it's impossible for you to do it without interacting with politicians. So the idea that if you are in conservation, you cannot deal with politicians, it's a safe thing to say, but it's not realistic. Because politicians are lawmakers, and whichever resource we pick, whether soil, trees, rivers, whichever resource we pick is governed by a set of laws. And if you're going to enforce those laws, you need the support of the people that put those laws into place. So dealing with politicians is inevitable. It's about being respectable in the manner in which you engage the politicians. So this was the very first issue we dealt with. The second issue we dealt with is, this is the map of Zambia. You notice these green patches, those are all national parks. Sorry? Where is ours? Yes. So, this is Kasanka National Park. Okay? Why is this park important? Because this one here. You see this one? Kasanka National Park. Why is it important? Because the largest bat migration in the world takes place at Kasanka National Park. The bats migrate from the Congo to this area and then back to. So it's an important tourism center. Okay? So a company comes into Zambia and decides to start commercial farming. Then they gets into the game management area of this national park. And the game management area is the buffer zone for the national park. They not only get into the game management area, they also get into a portion of the national park, which is against the law. So we brought advocacy to this. There is a lawyer that took that particular company to court. The day the case was being heard in court at the High Court in Mizu, we organized the protest from Civic Center to the High Court to bring attention to this particular invention of the precious ecosystem they have. Did I say the largest bat migration in the world? No. Did I say largest bat migration in the world? No. Guys, did I say largest bat migration in the world? Yes. Yes. Did I say largest bat migration in the world? Yes. Did I say largest bat migration in the world?
No.
You did. Yes.
You just said the largest bat migration.
Yes.
In the world. No.
I said in the world.
In the world? No.
Yes.
Yes.
I said in the world.
Yeah.
But let me qualify it even further so that you understand how precious it is. Bats are mammals. So it's not just the largest bat migration in the world. It's the largest migration of mammals in the world.
Really?
Yes.
So not the Serengeti?
No. The numbers are beaten by far. We're talking about 10 million bats. Yes, 10 million bats that move this way and back that way. And they're important for populating the species of trees here because they are fruit bats. So they eat fruits and scatter all these seeds in this particular area. And they've done this for thousands of years. So why will a farmer today come and try and disturb something that's been undisturbed for thousands of years? That's why we say we'll be on the side of nature. We will defend nature. So that's the second issue with Delta. Third issue in Livingstone. You know, Livingstone is the tourism capital of Zambia. There is what's called the Ratson Blue, Mosotunia Ratson Blue Resort. This resort is built right in the elephant corridor. We know that elephants cross to the Zambian side from Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe. Then this time of the year, they actually go back across. So when they get into Zambia, there are certain parts they've used for thousands of years, which are called elephant corridors. So they're supposed to be left undisturbed for those elephants to move through, because the elephants have memorized those particular corridors. So even when you put a building or a fence, they know that to be their route. So the hotel was built in one of these key corridors. And we are trying to defend that corridor again. If we keep on putting fences in that corridor and building, you know what happens? The elephants start using other routes around the blockage. And now they get into the settlements where people are staying, like down. Then you have human-animal conflict. This year alone, we've had more than 8 people killed because of the conflict between the elephants and people. And for us, we don't hide it. If you go to the Facebook page again, there is a new general manager that's been appointed for Radisson Blue. And yesterday we made a post saying, we welcome the new manager for the resort that is blocking the elephant corridor. The resort that is contributing to the human-animal conflict. It's almost like we're starting a fight, but we're trying to let people know this is not okay, and we cannot pretend it's okay. The Radisson Blue has hosted a number of conservation events. That's a contradiction for us. You can't say you care about elephants and allow the same hotel to contribute towards the danger that's coming towards the same elephants and our people. So that's one other issue. In Livingstone, there is also the Batoka Dam that's coming up. They want to set up a hydroelectric dam. We are against that dam because that's an important area for birds and nature. It's an important bird area. It's important for tourism. If you talk about whitewater rafting, it's done in the Batoka. So for us, we're saying 2 dams on the Zambezi are enough. The one we have here and the one that's in Mozambique. We don't need a 3rd dam. We can make billions from tourism. And it's one of the best economic sectors we have because tourism has got a very small carbon footprint if we go with eco-tourism. Whitewater rafting does not harm anyone. People just come and enjoy the water and go back home. The dollars remain here. So why don't we focus on building that particular tourism sector as a part of our economy? If we want dams for electricity, why don't we have a few and then focus on green energy transition? Why don't we now go to solar and all the other types of energy we can produce? What we need is a balance. The reason why hydroelectric power is not a good idea right now is because we have one of the highest deforestation rates in the world. In the world, again. We are losing about 200,000 to 300,000 hectares of land each year. With such a high deforestation rate, it means the areas around the rivers that catch the water from the rain and take it into the river are reducing. And that's the reason why we're not collecting enough water to fill up our dams. So if we're failing to fill up the Kariba Dam, worse off when we have drought. Why do we want more dams? Let's find other alternatives for energy generation. That's our argument. But it's a tough argument because the dam will bring in $5 billion US. And for politicians, $5 billion US means a lot of jobs. And that's what they're focused on. Lower Zambezi National Park. There was a mine there in Kangaloo that was supposed to be established right inside the national park. Again, we fought against that particular national park, that particular mine in the national park. Unfortunately, Honorable Nzo, who's now Minister of Water Development when he was with Green Economy, blocked that. But here is the hypocrisy in that. We block Mulungushi resources from mining in the national park. But there are other mine corporations that have already applied to mine in the same national park. So the exploration licenses have been approved. And there are actually 2 mines that are supposed to start operating. So the problem is deeper than we think. The problem is with our laws, our Mineral Rights Act and our Wildlife Act. That those 2 acts say it is okay to mine in a national park provided you follow the necessary environmental procedures. We are saying mining in all protected areas in Zambia, national parks, game management areas, wetlands, should be illegal. If you look at the country we have, it's so big. There are so many spaces we can go and mine. Why should we go and mine in these green spots? If we damage the green spots, then what are we going to be left with in terms of wildlife, tourism? Nothing. Everything will be gone. Hence the reason why we need to protect those. So those are some of the examples of the things we have done. Then the latest, if you read about it, 18th February 2015, Sino Metals Beach, Zambia. Okay, the name of the mine already tells you there's nothing good that's going to come from this. Okay?
Yeah.
28th February, they've got a tailings dam. A dam where all their waste goes. Huh? Then it bursts. Then the water starts running and it flows into the Chambishi River, Chambishi Stream. Okay? Then Mwambashi River. Then through the Mwambashi River, that acid goes into the Kafue River. Then in the Kafue River, it goes downstream to Ngwabe, which is 150 kilometers downstream. You've got dead fish. You've got farms destroyed, fields destroyed. Just yesterday, Honorable Mbosha, the Minister for Green Economy, was saying we won't allow farmers to farm in this area because we have not completed cleaning the heavy metals. You know the heavy metals that are there? Arsenic, lead, mercury, uranium. These are extremely toxic chemicals. And we are saying you are stopping farmers from farming 8 months after the disaster. And we are saying they shouldn't get close to the soil because it's harmful to them. Well, if the soil is harmful and the water is not safe for them, why have you left them in that area for 8 months? Why didn't you evacuate them from the area and wait until it's safe for them to go back? Those are the issues that all environmentalists should care about. And guess what? The environmentalists are not me. The environmentalists are all of us. We should all care what happens to anywhere in any part of Zambia, because they should care, or we will expect them to care when something happens to us. That's the reason why we speak for nature and defend nature and defend vulnerable communities. It's our responsibility. It's not a job. Environmentalism is not a job. It's a responsibility we all have the day we are born. So it's not a choice you have to say, I don't want to be an environmentalist. I'll be a lawyer. Eh? I don't want to be an environmentalist, I'll be an engineer. The day you are born, you're an environmentalist because you exist in the environment and you've got a responsibility to take care of that particular environment. What you choose to be your career path is something totally different. Regardless of what it is, you should always protect and take care of the environment and vulnerable people affected by anyone that's trying to take advantage of the environment by extracting wealth through extraction of resources from the environment. So Mizu EcoCare plus the affected members in that particular area have actually taken Sino Metals and NFC Mining Limited to court. So we're in court right now trying to protect that area they've damaged and the local communities. So in terms of activism and advocacy, that's what we're involved in. The second thing we're involved in is what we call agroecology, which is sustainable agriculture. Do you know what sustainable agriculture is? Anyone that can help us explain? Yes, please.
Like you do like agriculture without harming the environment, right?
You do agriculture without harming the environment. Anyone to add to that or give a different definition? Yes, let's
I
go.
just want to add on what you are saying.
Yes.
In this agriculture, you use things that do not have the plants, like chemicals and
So we are trying to practice the type of agriculture that doesn't harm the environment. If anything, we want to coexist with the environment. Practice the type of agriculture that helps to regenerate the ecosystem surrounding the farm ecosystem. And that's important in a place like South Luangwa, because we know people have to grow food and they have to practice agriculture. And whatever they do in their farms will affect the game management area. And if you affect the game management area negatively, you will also affect the national parks. If you regenerate the game management areas, automatically you will also help to regenerate the national parks. So that's why we now start doing those good things we're talking about. No chemicals. We don't use chemical fertilizer, we don't use chemical pesticides. We make our own fertilizer, we make our own pesticides. We don't use hybrid seeds, we discourage the use of hybrid seeds. Because hybrid seeds make our people dependent on the seeds. It can only come from companies and the government. But we are saying we've got our own local seeds that we can use forever. And they were passed on through generations to us. Why not continue to use those seeds? Why abandon the local seeds and focus on hybrid seeds that we will have to pay for? It doesn't make sense. Then, the other challenge we have with hybrid seeds and the corporations is they do it for profit. If we use our own seeds, we are doing it because it's a way of life. It's our right to use those seeds. Unfortunately for us, there are laws coming that will threaten the keeping of that seed. And I just want to read a section of that law that's on the president's table right now. If he signs, then it becomes law. Okay? You see this law? Huh? Yeah, so this is a bill, it's not yet an act. But if he signs, then it will become an act and it becomes law. A person shall not operate the following plant health related structures without a certificate of registration. So to do these things, you will need a certificate of registration. A laboratory for phytosanitary diagnostic service. Okay, that's complicated. A production site for any agricultural crop. A production site for any agricultural crop. That means basically wherever you have a piece of land or area to grow a crop, it will have to be registered. A pack house for agricultural produce. A processing facility that exports agricultural commodities. A plant nursery. A plant nursery will have to be registered. Yes. So those. So you know where the problem is. Even as we talk about this, the majority of Zambians don't even know this is happening. And when it comes into law, it won't pick only those that knew to affect. It will affect everyone. And that's why we're saying, let people continue to use seeds the way they've always used them. And that's the reason why we set up this seed bank, so that we can pick local seeds and distribute for free to the local community. Then they only return something back when they harvest. So you notice we've got a number of seeds in here. Those we're trying to distribute to the farmers are the bags we have over there. We've got some local maize, we've got some velvet bean seeds. We've got some velvet bean seeds.
let's build a balance.
But there's no any defender of this bill.
Unfortunately, all those things have already passed.
Already passed.
Yes, so now it's with the president. So the issue is convincing the president not to sign. That's where we are.
And if he chooses not to, then does it go back to Parliament, or is it just thrown out?
It depends on the decision he decides. If he says we don't need this, then it stops right there.
Who's benefiting from this law?
The corporations.
But who in Zambian government will be benefiting from that?
Yes. So basically, if you control the seat, it means only those that have the authority by law to handle the seat are the ones that benefit. And in this case, it will be the people that are involved with seed distribution and the making, in inverted commas, of seed. Because no one makes seed. Seed is from God. And that original seed they got to make the hybrids comes from the local communities. So how is it that the original seed now is supposed to become illegal? But what you produced from the original seed is what becomes certified. It doesn't make sense. So we'll be distributing maize and what we call velvet beans. In Chicheva they call it chiteze. I don't know in Chipunda. Kasi, yeah? From that seed covering, if it rubs off you,
It's a buffalo bean right
you will dance.
We know it's buffalo bean.
Because we want the seed. The seed is okay. What's irritating is that covering in which the seeds are found. Sorry? These seeds are used as one green manure. So when they grow, okay, before they flower, you can chop them up and mix them with the soil. Or just leave them on the sides of the maize. And they give the soil nitrogen.
Oh, that's why
Yes.
Just take the what? The leaves. Take the leaves.
Yes, the leaves. Cut them and put them, lie them next to the maize. If you want, before you plant any maize, you will start with planting this. Okay? Then, when they grow, you simply mix this, chop it up and mix it with the soil. Then you plant your seed. This will help boost the soil. So, green manure first. Secondly, as a cover crop. And what we mean by cover crop is you notice it grows spreading out. Huh? So the soil will be totally covered. That means when the radiation of the sun comes, it won't hit the soil directly. So if you have a dry spell of no rain for 3 weeks, the soil will be able to at least hold some moisture, compared if you didn't have the soil covered. So we use this as a green manure and as a cover crop. Then it's also food. Okay? It's food. Sorry? Yes. You've never eaten this before?
No.
It's a fantastic snack. It's a fantastic snack. Of course, it takes many hours to boil. Longer than beans, huh? Just put it wrong. Not in this form.
Save the seed.
Yes.
So, sir, just a contribution about that act.
Please.
Only few people know about it. So why can you come on public to actually all of the people in the community know about that? Only majority of people know about those acts. Just or me, I just know it's my life because of my friend in those countries. Okay, just briefly about that. Because I'm saying this because the president is very easy to be convinced. It's not on the ground to see about everything. So it's very easy to convince them, to convince him to sign those acts. So if you come on public, everyone know about it and talk about it. Maybe you can just think about it and refuse to sign the law.
You are right that not a lot of people know about it. but we've tried to publicize it.
Not
But I'll agree with you, we have not tried enough. Because Mizu belongs to an alliance called the Zambia Alliance for Agroecology and Biodiversity. And I know they've had workshops and they've been on radio programs and on TV programs. But it's been on the Copper Belt and Lusaka. So you are right, we have not gone to the communities that matter. We have not been on the ground in farming communities that really need the information. You're 100% right. I won't even try to defend it. You're 100% correct. We should have done more to let the community know. And if the farmers say no the year before the election year, you actually tear that bill, it will be a big no. Very, very quickly. So you are right, we should have done more, and we have not done more. But the problem is bigger than that. Look at how we are not helping our farmers move from unsustainable practices to sustainable. It's the exact same thing. The workshops are in Lusaka and the Copper Belt. Okay? We don't spend time in communities where the people really need that information and knowledge. And that's a mistake on us. We have to own up to that. 100% true. Any questions or comments? Let's share information.
I have a question.
Yes.
For those people that were using the same seeds, as in those people that are already using the seeds, the ones that they usually buy, I don't know.
The hybrid seeds.
The hybrid seeds, yes. How long does it take for it to dissolve completely so that the person can use these normal sustainable seeds?
To dissolve, you're talking about the seed or the chemicals?
I mean, the chemicals for them to dissolve completely.
So, you know, the problem we have is the policies you have as a country determine everything that takes place. So with Zambia, we've got what we call FISIPA, Farmer Input Supply Program. And FISIP is meant to supply hybrid seeds to every farmer in Zambia. But notice we don't even have enough seed. People only get a certain number of bags. And for a number of years, people haven't had enough. They've had to share those same bags. Then you're also supposed to get only a certain number of fertilizer bags. Now this is where the mindset change is needed. Notice, anyone that does not get the seed from government through FISIP needs money to buy for themselves. And the majority of our farmers don't have that money. That means they need to find something else to make money. If you are in Fue, guess what that something else is? Charcoal. What else could one go to if they're not going to? Watching. So, though we don't talk about it enough, there is a huge connection between the prosperity farmers are supposed to get from agriculture and what happens to our ecosystems and wildlife if they can't generate wealth from farming. And we're trying to help them generate wealth by making the cost of production for the farmers much, much cheaper. We are saying don't buy anything. Everything you need to make pesticides, to make your manure and the seed can be for free in your community. That's the approach we are trying to use. But for as long as FISIP is what rules the agricultural sector, these problems will continue. Now they've tried to change it. UPND, I give them credit, they've tried to change it. They've actually changed FISIP to CASIP, okay? Comprehensive Farmer Input Program. But it is not being practiced on the ground. Even when they were talking about this budget for 2026, notice the Minister of Finance didn't talk about CASIP. He said we are allocating this amount to FISIP, so FISIP is still ruling. So it's you and me now to go to our communities and say, you know what, we can break free from this. Another example that it's about the mindset. Notice this. Whenever we talk about A bumper harvest. Which crop are we talking about?
Maize.
Only. It could be a bumper harvest of sweet potatoes, it could be a bumper harvest in tobacco, it could be a bumper harvest in soya, in tomato, in onion. Tomato would be rotting in the markets. No one ever talks about a bumper harvest in connection to any other crop except that's where the brainwashing is. Second thing that lets you know there is a problem, okay? When Food Reserve Agency comes to buy maize, they will only buy maize whose color is white. So if you have any indigenous maize with a different color, you should find your own market. So why should farmers keep these other seeds if government will only buy white maize? It's for us now to create our own system. For us to say, no, we also want these other seeds. And you notice the price for those other seeds is actually much higher than the price for the white maize. So until we change that system, our farmers are chained to that system. It will take time for us to teach each other, unlearn and relearn what will set us free. Any other questions?
For
Yes.
the issue of soil conservation using these seeds,
Yes.
is it they have a specific type of soil where they grow healthy as compared maybe, okay, in terms of soil types, is it they are most appropriate in loam soil, clay?
So when it comes to farming, there is definitely a certain type of soil that's more appropriate, okay? Like loam, okay? But in agroecology, we believe you can restore or regenerate any type of soil. It will take longer, but it's still possible, okay? Yeah, so on Facebook, do you know of the radical farmer? The radical farmer, Ebo Hangoma. He's in Kafue.
I know him, but I don't follow him very much.
If you look at where his farm is, organic farm number 7, he's picked an area that is barren, rocky, and that's where he set up the organic farm, trying to prove this same thing, that whatever type of soil you have, you can regenerate it. It just needs time. And that's the challenge we often face in agroecology. People have used fertilizers for many, many years, from the 60s and 70s. We've been killing the soil using the chemical fertilizers. If you've taken 30 years to kill the soil, you will not give it life in 1 year. And people will try organic farming or agroecology for 1 year. They see the yield is low and say this is useless. It took 30 years to destroy the soil. You will need at least 3 years to see proper results from rebuilding that particular soil. Explaining further what happens to the soil, this is where the use of chemicals is banned. Now, let's go with the history of chemical fertilizers. Before chemical fertilizers, we simply depended on the fertility of the soil. And the soil would give us yields. Then chemical fertilizers came. So the combination of the chemical fertilizers plus the natural fertility of the soil boosted the yield. And because the yield was boosted, everyone was like, yes, chemical fertilizers have come. But what happened over the years? The fertility of the natural fertility of the soil began to decline, and the yields also began to decline until the soil was dead. And when the soil is dead, now you only depend on the fertility of the chemical fertilizer. That's that type of soil where if you don't apply fertilizer, the crop won't do well.
It's like a drug.
Yes. Like an addiction.
Yeah.
So the issue now is, how do you get rid of the chemical fertilizers and rebuild or regenerate the soil so that it has the life it had before we used the chemical fertilizer? That's what we're trying to get back to. And this is why that's important. In natural soil, it will have living organisms, which we call biotic organisms, biotic matter. That biotic matter will break down the organic components in the soil and make the nutrients available to the crop. So the nutrients are not just collected by the plant on its own. It needs the help of the living organisms in the soil. When you kill the living organisms, there is nothing to feed the crop anymore. Now you depend on that fertilizer to be able to dissolve in rainwater. Then when it's a solution, now the plant is able to suck it up. So the soil is no longer taking part in that feeding process through the living organisms. The soil just becomes a conduit through which the nutrients, with the help of the rain, go into the crop. So the best way to feed the plants is by using living soil. And that's why we are promoting agroecology and organic farming. We don't want any chemicals that kill the soil and the living organisms. And the problem with chemicals, you target one pest, but once you spray, everything else goes. When you're in Fuwe, you will notice all these butterflies, 20, 50 of them. In Osaka, you won't see that. 10 butterflies together, floricking, you won't see that. Because we've got pesticides everywhere. What are the vegetables we eat in the cities? Now it's also coming here. Rape, cabbage, spinach. Rape, cabbage, dominate. And most of them are grown using what? Chemicals. But if we are being real, with the test, is rape better than Chihuahua? Is rape
Chihuahua?
One time, I picked Chihuahua one time. Is rape better than Wondo? Just the way it tastes, this is medicine. This is rich. From the taste alone, you can tell. Rape is plain and hard. It's not soft. That's something we're supposed to change. That's a decision we make. If we say, you know what? Half the meals will be Wondo, Chihuahua. Then the other half we'll see where we can put in a cabbage and a rape. You are deciding what the farmer will produce. Because when they notice no one is buying rape or cabbages, and a lot of people are buying Wondo, Chihuahua, they have got no choice for the sake of business to switch to those. But if we all buy rape and cabbage, but at the same time say commercial farmers are bad, but you're creating the market for the bad products. It's you to create the market for the good products and let the bad products naturally phase out. So at the end of the day, it's about the personal lifestyle you are living. What lifestyle have you chosen to live? Are you waiting until you are like me and have diabetes to decide on reducing on sugar? How many teaspoons of sugar do you put in your cup of tea in the morning? It's very common to see this. First and foremost, we won't use teaspoons. It's the tablespoon.
Just get the whole pack and then start.
That's also common. 2 kgs. No, but it's a lifestyle choice. Are you sure putting all that sugar into your body is the best thing? Are you sure frying everything? And that's what we do as Zambians. We want to fry everything. And when we put cooking oil, we want that layer floating on oil. We need to make a healthier path. We want, have you noticed how the bread is very thin? Like it's literally, if it's homemade bread, it's different. But the bread we buy, it's definitely not as healthy as sweet potatoes. Trust me. And the sweet potatoes will have that natural sugar. Meaning you don't have to put the other sugar in your tea or coffee. Ziggy Mali also. So it's about the personal decisions we make. Don't wait until you're 40 or 50 and have diabetes, sugar disease, and this, and hypertension to change your lifestyle. You start investing in your 50s now, the type of lifestyle you choose to live. That's how you make a difference. And people will look at you as an example now. Okay, so this guy has got this type of lifestyle. This lady has got this type of... Why do you live your life? You know, you become a sermon all by yourself. You're preaching to the world and people try and imitate you. That's causing an impact in your community. Mom, what? Yeah, sugar, trust me. Sugar is bad and it's addictive. Coca-Cola tastes nice, Fanta tastes nice, but all those, wherever there is sugar, there is addiction. Notice the other opposite. Wherever there is a lot of salt, there is also addiction. And most of the snacks will be super salty. Crisps will be super salty. The people that make those foods know what they're trying to do. They want you to come back and back. And Hungry Lion. Zambians and Hungry Lion. Again, once in a while you can take a Hungry Lion. Huh? But every day, that can't be healthy for you, trust me. In the long term, there will be a price you pay for choosing the bad lifestyle. So you need a good lifestyle, a healthy lifestyle. And I always tell people, what's the point of saving the world if you're not going to live long yourself? It starts, the first environment you take care of is your body. Live long and live long enough to take care of everything else. But what's the point of taking care of the environment if by 30 you'll be gone because you made the wrong lifestyle choices? It doesn't make any sense at all. Another thing I would like to talk about before I invite more questions. You know, the rest of us are getting old, and we always talk about future leaders, you are the future leaders. In the meantime, we're getting all the benefits as the elderly ones. Huh? Yeah. You're not the future leaders, you are the leaders. 70% of Zambians' population is between 12 and 25. The power is with you guys. You just need to realize the power you have. The future of conservation is with you guys. But that power is useless unless you make it work, unless you do something. So, as students, what difference are you making in your community? That's where it starts. If I get to your Facebook page, what will I find that will inspire me? And I'll be like, you know what? I need to follow this profile. I need to follow. So what's on your Facebook profile? Is it just selfies? What are you preaching to others and the community about how to live a better life and take care of the environment? Those are important questions to ask yourself. What brand are you creating? Personal brand, online. If people Google your name, what are they going to find online? It's important for you to have an idea of what you're putting out there and the message you are sending. The second thing I want to say, none of us is here by mistake or accident. We are here by design. I don't care whether you believe in God or you believe in the energy of the universe, nothing just happens. Everything happens for a reason. If you are alive, the moment you just wake up the next day, it means your purpose on earth has not been achieved. And that helps you not to fear death.
Yeah.
Because you know, the only time God is taking me is when my purpose has been achieved. Now, look at how blessed we all are to be alive today. There are babies that were born and died that same day. Their only purpose was to make their mothers feel what it's like to have a baby. That was their purpose, and they are gone. Some won't even be born, it's a miscarriage. The mother just had to experience what it's like to conceive, to announce to the rest of the family that I'm carrying a baby. That was the purpose of that child. Still a blessing. Now, if you've been on earth 10, 12, 15 years, that's a major blessing. The issue is, what's my purpose? That's the only homework we have. Discover the reason why you are alive and the difference you're supposed to make to the world. The sooner you do it, the better. What you don't want to do is discover your purpose around 32. Around 32, that's when you discover, when I was 21, I should have gone to Unza. Oops, it's kind of late. Okay? So, interact with people that will guide you. The people that are your patrons and matrons. Ask them questions. I'm looking for what I'm supposed to do in my life. These are my gifts. These are my talents. How am I supposed to discover what my purpose is? Normally, your purpose is tied to your gifts and talents, one way or another. It's one of the quickest ways to discover why you are alive. But even before we discover all that, just the fact that we woke up and are alive, oh my God, that's something. It means there is a reason to exist and live. Are we together?
Yes.
So I want you to remember these words. It is written. Nothing happens for no reason. God has already written it. It is written. So appreciate life. When you breathe this air, breathe it with purpose, knowing you are here for a reason. One of the reasons why I'm talking about this is because one of the major problems our youth have is the lack of purpose that leads to them unaliving themselves. Huh? Never ever think of that route. There's always something you are here for, something you need to do. Fight like everyone else. There is no problem you will face that no one else has never met. Whatever problem you are facing, someone has faced and has overcome. What will stop you from overcoming? You can overcome as well. Are you listening to what I'm saying?
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Do you believe in what I'm saying?
Yes.
Thank you. Any questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay. Then you come in next time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
These seeds, are you giving to anyone or maybe you are selecting people?
Because there are so few, we just have to start with a few people. So there is a friend we have from the High Five Club, Moloson Banda, is in Mokane. So he trained 100 farmers there that were given like little certificates. So we're supposed to distribute to those first. Then we'll distribute to those in this village and the next 2 villages. But if you need some seed, you can come through. If you need some seeds, you can come through. Okay? Yes?
So, if you distribute them, then their crops will grow, or maybe they experience floods. How do you deal with that problem?
So one of the things, that's why they do that training before they get the seeds. Because we're supposed to talk about climate change. We talk about farming and the connection to climate change. What practices they are involved in that are unsustainable. How they can now go to sustainable farming practices.
Should they till the entire land? Should they use gampani, just make potholes? Should they use reapers, just make tuma lines, much like Kembeo? Okay? So there are different methods you use depending on where you are. If it's an area that floods, then you need to use certain methods. If it's a garden in a flooded area, then you probably need ridges or raised beds. Huh? So it depends on where you are. If the area is dry, then definitely you need your potholing done. So it depends on where you are and what happens there. That's what determines the type of land preparation you'll be involved in. For manure, we teach them how to make bokashi. Okay, we teach them how to make tea liquid manure from a plant called camphor. We have it, so it's in small supply. But you can use that liquid fertilizer for your crops. You can use bokashi for your crops. There are a number of manures that we teach them to make. But preparation is about knowing your area first. You need to know the factors that are a threat to you. If the area is attacked by elephants, then automatically your number one priority is how do I keep the elephants out? Because whatever I grow will be attacked. So do I need to get in touch with CSL and get a solar electric fence? Do I need to use chili? Yeah, do I need chili guns? So there are all these solutions, but you need to determine what the threats are, then look at the solutions to cut out all those particular threats. Okay? Yes?
I wanted to ask a question.
Yes.
But it's about the chemicals that we use during farming. Like you said about you kill the soil through the chemicals that we use. So like the soil, does it reach at like acidic level or what? I want to know about that.
Yes. Excess application of chemicals contributes to the acidity of the soil. Excess flooding, a lot of water collecting on top of the soil means the majority of the nutrients and minerals are taken down by the water. That soil will also be kind of acidic. And you notice this area has that issue, acidic soil, I think mostly because of the flooding in most of the areas. So you will notice when people use ash, they talk about a good harvester.
Yes.
The ash is simply neutralizing the acid. Yes. So those are all factors you're supposed to know. What's the pH of my soil? But a lot of people won't have resources for all those tests. So the quickest way is, safest bet is, wherever you plant your crops, see how you can use biochar, which is powdery charcoal, right? See how you can use biochar and see how you can incorporate ash, because those two also keep the termites away. So they have a number of functions that are very useful. Even when we're making bokashi manure, we add biochar and we add ash just to help us with those particular issues.
In terms of ash, you talk the same ashes that we use at home.
Yes, pulusa.
Yeah, pulusa.
At Milota. Yes. Choto, right? Yes.
So
that same one.
So, like for example, for you to maybe like apply all of the pulusa in your farm, you need a lot of ash. Like, you need to cut trees for you, like.
No, you don't need to cut trees. What we do, like with biochar, you simply get branches or twigs, dry ones, okay? Then you get a 20-liter drum, drill holes into it, then put those sticks and branches inside. Then you start burning them and cover it. Then in those holes you made, you just start turning inside, okay? Making sure it's burning evenly. Then before it turns into ash, you pour it out and put it out. It will literally be like charcoal. Then you put it in sacks and beat it up so that you turn it into some powdery material. Then you use that. So we're trying to avoid people using charcoal, because to make charcoal you literally have to cut a tree down. What we're doing is just using dead wood to make if you want to make ash, ash can come from, it's better from wood as well. So twigs, sticks are the best. But you can also use leaves for your ash. That's also useful. So you just burn leaves, that ash is useful. But mix it up with some twigs so that you have ash from actual wood. That's a good mixture. There was another hand?
Let me give it to the student.
Okay, you can go ahead.
Yeah, so I think what you're doing is more sustainable most for us farmers. Yeah, so your advertisement, your advocates, when it's done on media platform. So how can you do it to be more effective to reach out most of the local farmers in the surrounding areas here in Luangwa?
So what we've tried to do is conduct trainings in VAGs. So we'll pick 20 people in each village action group, train them, then those go and train other people. Then we've opened up this space. Like whoever wants to come in and seek advice, anyone can come through. But we definitely have not marketed ourselves. A lot of people don't even know we exist. Only those that use our hamami will probably know we exist. Most people have no idea we're here, and that's something we hope we'll do something about, just to advertise ourselves a little bit more.
Yes.
Hopefully you also spread the word out there.
Yeah, so good.
So whoever needs some guidance, advice, they can come through or they can invite us to their field, then we just exchange ideas. The thing is, we don't have all the solutions. If anything, the solutions we are giving are traditional knowledge solutions. They come from the same community. It's just that the community has been distracted by new solutions that are not even helpful right now. So we simply need to go back to our roots. It's nothing new we are talking about. 90% of what we're talking about, our great-grandparents were already doing. Yes, sir.
It is just a contribution.
Please.
Just to see you are dealing with the local farmers.
Yes.
And I appreciate that you didn't set up this base along the tarmac. You chose the right location where the farmer are located. And then another contribution is that a long time ago we had the Kafunda, which was supporting the farmers. They are going around the villages, teaching them how to make organic manures. But the problem is that they do stop, they don't go very far. You know, changing someone's mind is not an easy game which you can do it within a 6 months or maybe 1 month. So they just come, just a little bit of time, they go. We had our campaign which was under Komako. They came very well, they teach people short time, they just stop doing it. So just a contribution that this is a good thing that you are doing. Maybe you can stay long. A good base will help people to change their mindset.
What's your name, sir?
Simon there.
Thank you, Mr. Mbeya. Thank you for those words. We didn't choose to be here actually. We were stranded for a long time. When we first came, we were at Adrian's farm. You know the rice field where the bridges are?
Yes.
That was our first base. And we were busy looking for where to go. Then we met Headman Tom for Tom Village at Msimbit. Then he heard about us looking for a place, and he's the one that said, come this side. Then we came, they introduced us to the villagers, they heard what we were trying to do, they were like, I think that Kaland,
Yeah.
Then that's how we came here, and they were like, you can set yourselves up here, and we're like, thank you. That's how we found ourselves here. Then we'll see what we can do to try and reach out to a wider catchment. So we're just getting started. We'll definitely push for more interaction with the wider community as well. Yes, I'm on. Bit by bit. Any other questions, contributions?
Yeah, so I've just said maize. What about the cash crops like soybean? In terms of providing effective productivity or maybe profitability for the farmers. How are you striving to do that?
Okay. So the program we are implementing is called the Poverty and Hunger Reduction Program, and we're implementing it with the support of the High Five Club, which was founded by Mani and Dr. Sharon Vola. Okay, Mani is from here. Cher also worked for a long time here, but they are now based in the UK, with the support of Rotary Club of Canterbury, Sunrise. So our number one priority is like hunger reduction, which is why we are also focusing on providing food through maize. But like you've noticed, there are a number of other seeds we have, and we definitely want to get into the cash crop arena, because we don't want one crop dominating. We don't want a mono crop system. We want a many crops system. So we'll see how we can introduce those other cash crops. In fact, for us, this farming season, our aim is not to grow any maize. Our aim is to go with soya as well. Yeah, so we'll see how we can diversify, but we need to bring in more seeds in order to help with the other cash crops. And right now, our focus is on maize. That's what we can afford to bring in. Yeah. Are we done here?